Hello again, folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Now today you got me, Delta Sierra, and you have the Rural Deputy, because we're going to be looking at Vortex's flagship non-magnified optic, and who better to kind of help me test it than somebody that trusts their life to an optic every day on the road, right? Before we get into the specs and things like that, I just wanted to also thank Gunny Uniform for making this recommendation for this optic. If you guys want to check them out and the rest of the guys at Vortex Edge and Vortex Optics, we're going to drop some Instagram links down below, as well as for the Rural Deputies page there. If you want to see what they're up to, feel free to follow them there. So welcome again to the channel, and I'm just going to jump in there and ask you, for a guy that's on the road, what do you look for in an optic? What's the main features that you want?
So for me, I want something that's obviously durable. For my rifle, rides around, it bounces, it shakes. You never know where we're going to be. I've been in and out of the back of pickups, climbing around on the ground. So durability is an absolute must. Another thing is something that can withstand the elements. Heat, cold, rain, snow, all of that stuff. And a personal preference that I have of mine is just ease of use. Something I can adjust it, hit the on, hit the off, do what I have to do. Quick, easy, even if I have shooting gloves on. And I prefer a big viewing area. Just it's better for my personal preference as far as target acquisition. I like to be able to be quick and not feel like I'm bringing up just a little.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, especially if, in one of those situations where the adrenaline's pumping and, tunnel vision wants to set in. You can't be looking through a small little aperture at that point, right?
Right.
So that makes sense. So, well, let's take a look at the features of this thing and see if it meets your standards, right? So let's jump right into it. So first things you'll see from the Gen 1 to the Gen 2, the Gen 1 used to have a little USB port that nobody seemed to use, so they got rid of that. The build quality on this thing is fantastic. You can just feel it when you take it out of the box. It's got their ArmorTech coating, which is going to lean towards a lot of durability, even for the finish. It's an all aluminum casing. It's obviously a closed emitter because of the fact that it's a holographic. And it's got fully multi-layered coatings on the lenses as well. And it is fog proof, it is waterproof, and it is shock proof. There's no parallax to it, and you have unlimited eye relief on this optic as well. One of the things that really impressed me is the beefiness of the quick release mount. It's got a locking button in there as well, but you can just feel it's high quality and locks in there really, really tightly. Got rear-facing controls, very simple to use, plus and minus buttons. And one of the big things that I truly do like is the night vision mode. For those guys who can actually afford nods, which is not me, not this guy, you just hit that button for a couple of seconds and it immediately goes into night vision mode. So you don't have to tap down the minus button until you eventually get there, right? So for operators, or even guys like the deputy here, if you guys are doing some night stuff and you have nods out, that's a great option to have. It has about 100 MOA in adjustment, and something that I really appreciate, listen up Sig, is when you do the adjustment, you can actually feel and hear the clicks, and each click is a half MOA adjustment, right? So yeah, so far, just by the look and feel of it, it's very durable, very well built. And then one thing that they actually really impressed me with, and it's kind of weird saying that, but the battery compartment. So if you want to open the battery compartment, you actually have a metal kind of little flap that comes up, so you can turn it easily without stripping it out of the threads there. So very well thought out optic. Well, as the new one also has lightning cuts just to take a little bit of the weight off it. And it is a big old boy, but in my opinion, looks pretty badass. So yeah, so I was thinking what we could do, since the reticle is kind of one of those donut ones with some chomps out of it. At the bottom of it, and we'll splice in a little image of that here, you've got that little triangle, and apparently that is a CQB one or a CQC one, where it kind of automatically eliminates the height over bore. So if you're within 10 yards, you basically use that as your reticle. So I'm not sure if you have to use the tip of it or the whole thing, but what do you say we try that out? We give it a test.
Yeah, we'll give her a shot.
Sounds good, guys. Stay tuned. So it looks like the hole that you want is going to be kind of putting the triangle on top of whatever you want to hit. So we'll put that to the test once again. So that's at about 7 yards using the triangle. So it looks like it only really comes to play at about 7 yards. Anything in, you're still going to be about an inch low. All right, so it looks like at about 7 yards is where that really does come into play. Anything closer, you're still going to be about an inch low, Mike, right?
About that, yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, sounds good. So do you want to run some drills?
Yeah, we can run some.
All right, let's do it. Stay tuned, guys. All right, so there you have it, folks. We shot quite a few rounds through it. We managed to heat up this rifle quite a bit as well. And personally, I quite like it. What do you think about the Huey?
I'm really impressed with it. Impressed enough that I'm going to go shopping again.
Without an adult, right?
Right. What I liked with it is I'm used to the bold lines, like with the Holosuns I run and everything. The design of the reticle in there, it's nice. You don't get the eye fatigue. It almost disappears when you're at closer range. Mm-hmm. And even at the longer distances, reaching out and hitting steel at 100 yards, it worked great.
I agree with you there 100%. And just following on from what you had said there, the reticle, if you compare it to, for example, your Holosun, which is an emitter reticle, like a red dot, right? It doesn't appear crisp if you look directly at the red dot, and that's just how a human eye sees a holographic, right, or a holographic image. But and a big thing that I do wrong is I tend to focus on my reticle instead of focusing on the target, right?
Right.
So this one is actually going to force me to focus on the target, because it kind of crisps up a little bit when you actually look at the target and not at the reticle. And I agree with you. It's not intrusive, right? It doesn't feel like it's right there. You have to almost look around it to see a target. It's like a.
It's nice because with the way the eye views it, you've still got a good view of your target.
No, I agree with you right there. No, I'm deeply impressed with it, guys. I am super happy with it right now, and it is certainly built like a tank. It's got a whole bunch of brightness settings, and again, as you can see, or as we talked about, it's got the night vision as well. So for you fancy guys who can afford nods, hey, that's maybe something to look at. So guys, just a little bit off topic, I just want to thank the Rural Deputy again. And if you guys are in driving distance from Hollandale, Wisconsin, I would like you to swing by Driftless Fields, which is owned and operated by a couple of veterans, good Christian people living their faith, and they're freedom-loving, Second Amendment supporting people. So if you need some flowers for your loved one or some decoration stuff, go take a look at that. Yeah, any closing thoughts that you have?
Overall, I'm thoroughly impressed with it. Like I said, I'm gonna be shopping for my other AR build. I was impressed with the size of it. We've called it the mailbox. It doesn't make the rifle feel real top heavy.
Mm-hmm. I was worried about the same thing, to be honest, right? You know, because it's a bulky thing,
right.
But it feels solid. It feels like it kind of conforms with the rifle. So I'm super happy with it. And actually, what I'm thinking now, and again, I also need some supervision, same as you. I'm wondering if I should do a little investment in a 3X, that Vortex Micro 3X up magnifier. It'll go beautifully with that thing.
I mean, you have to be thorough, right? You don't know until you try.
That's true. Good excuse, I like it. All right, guys, there you have it. So again, thanks to the Rural Deputy for helping me test it. And as always, guys, you all stay safe, and we're going to see you next time.